Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate, and here on my channel I talk about true crime stories. Please remember to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and hitting the notification bell so that you never miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you so much for being here with me. It means the absolute world to me. I don't get too many people visiting my channel, so thank you. Also, remember that I have teamed up with a brand called Broken Society. My first t-shirt. How cute is this? Right? I know, right? It's adorable. Broken Society. They've got some really cute clothes right here. A little bit spooky, but completely adorable. I know, right? This is the True Crime Club one. So it says Broken Society and one that says True Crime Club. Love it. They've even got t-shirts and clothing for kids, which is amazing. I'm a mum, so I love that. And to top it off, I have scored us a 10% discount for when you use the promo code KateSharon_truecrime at checkout. You're welcome. You're welcome. You can check out their website at www.broken-society.com. Thank you so much for being here. I've said that, I know, but it does honestly mean the world to me. Because I love doing this. I want to keep doing this. Alright, go grab a snack. Let's dive into another true crime story. Alrighties. So, you have probably never heard of Larrimah, unless you have watched the documentary on Netflix about Paddy Moriarty, which I have watched over and over and over and over again. Like, seriously, it is... I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So basically, Larrimah is smack dab in the middle of the Aussie desert. There's about 12 or 13 people living there. Well, there's actually a lot less now, but back then there was about 12 or 13 people living there. It's a typical small outback town, just like the one in Crocodile Dundee, full of quirky outback characters. Unless you haven't seen Crocodile Dundee, in that case, where have you been? We love that movie in my family. Anyway, so Netflix decided to make a 2-part doco about Larrimah, which I found really, really interesting. So the town has a lot more going on beneath the surface, and it's all because of a significant event that took place in 2017. Not too long ago, but a little while ago. So on December the 16th, 2017, holy shit. That's my wedding. Oh my gosh. Anyway, a local man called Paddy Moriarty and his dog Kellie, they disappeared without a trace. Gone. No one's seen them ever since. It was like they just disappeared. Nothing was left behind. So Paddy Moriarty was born on March the 30th in 1947 in Limerick. This is in Ireland. When he turned 18, he decided to move to Australia, even though he didn't have any family or anybody there that he knew. He just up and left. I think that's what they did back in the day. Like my mum and her family, they left England and came to New Zealand. So I guess that's just what they do, look for the heat. So once he arrived in Australia, Paddy took on various jobs on cattle farms. He was working as a ringer, that is somebody who helps manage cattle. He was a grader driver and a station hand. So he was also really active in the rodeo scene and even won a belt buckle in a competition in Darwin in 1996. So he's like a bloke's bloke, like a guy's guy, that kind of fella. So after the passing of his partner Dorothy in the year 2000, Paddy never got into another relationship. So it was kind of just him and his dog. So he had 2 dogs. He had the first dog and then he had Kellie. This is the second dog. He didn't have Kellie for that long when they went missing. So Paddy, he actually had heart problems. He had undergone a procedure to insert stents in 2006 to help with his heart. So, but he drank so much as well. That's not good. You're not supposed to drink like that much when you've got heart stents. Anyway, in 2008, he moved from Daly Waters to Larrimah, which is a really small town located 158 kilometres south of Katherine, which had about 12 or 13 residents at the time, like I said. So, hardly anyone. I think there's 2 people there now. I'm not sure. I have to double check that one. And in 2010, he bought an old service station and he paid 30,000 Australian dollars. Pretty good, right? But it's abandoned. Paddy worked at the local hotel where his job involved cleaning camp toilets, doing laundry, making up rooms, and taking care of the gardens. So he kept himself busy. After lunch, Paddy, who was a creature of habit, he did the same thing every day. He always settled into his favourite chair. It was on the left side of the main entrance. So he did the same thing every day, got his lunch, got in his chair, had a couple of beers. He would enjoy his beer and he would greet the visitors as they walked in. So after losing his dog in December of 2016, Paddy welcomed a lively 11-month-old red kelpie, and he called her Kellie. Aw, she's really cute as well. This is so weird because December of 2016, that's when I got married, and then 2017 is when my husband left. So I was like, Paddy, all this happened around that time for me. Anyway, Paddy was known for his consistent daily habits and his careful attention to detail. He usually wore sandals and a hat, like he always had his hat on. And when he left his hat behind when he went missing, people were like, oh my God, because he always had his hat. He was also really tidy. He liked to keep his place clean. And at his job at the hotel, he was meticulous. The people in Larrimah, they were really familiar with how he spent his days. Everyone knew where he would be. So when Paddy went missing, it was noticed, like, immediately. He would take morning walks with his dog and work at the hotel until around noon. So he didn't work super long hours, but, you know, he was working. And the afternoons, he liked to relax, have a few beers, just chilling, living the Australian dream. I guess. I'm allowed to say that. My dad's Australian, so it means I'm, what, half? Anyway, Paddy typically finished work at around 4:30 p.m, unless he was chatting with guests, and then he would just kind of like hang out there and have his beers and then bugger home. So on December the 16th, my wedding day, 2017, he followed his usual routine. He arrived at the hotel riding his red quad bike, and he had Kellie sitting on the back, and honestly, it's so cute. Like, I know you probably shouldn't, you know, ride with your dog on the back or whatever, but that's what they do. After taking some time to tidy up, he headed to the bar. There, he made a payment and he withdrew 40 Australian dollars at 2:29 p.m. Then he treated himself to 8 beers from the bar in 2 separate purchases and enjoyed them while he was sitting in his favourite chair with Kellie right by his side. That dog never left his side. His dogs were really well behaved. Like, there was no way in hell. My dog, I had a dog called Brandy. He was a boxer, and his nickname was the Footies. He would run. He'd be gone. So apparently a family rocks up. They had travelled from Catherine that day. They bought some groceries. They bought a barbecue chicken at the supermarket while they were still in Catherine, and then they headed to Larrimah. So it was like around lunchtime that they arrived in Larrimah. They were going to, you know, eat their food in Larrimah and then, you know, check out the animals and whatever, because like lots of wildlife there. After they finished their meal, they stopped by the Larrimah Hotel to have a drink and have a look at the animals that were there. And while they were there, they saw Paddy. He's having his beer and he's sitting in his chair, and Kellie's right next to him, and their little girl, she asked if she could pet Kellie, and yeah, so she's she said, what was it? Can I pet that dog? That. Oh my God. It was that kind of situation, except this was a dog. Anyway, so she's petting Kellie, and Paddy's sitting there, and, you know, they're having a chat. And the mum, she takes some pictures of her daughter and Kellie, and Paddy's in some of these pictures. So I've got some of those pictures. It's kind of sad, but it's like these are the last pictures of Paddy and Kellie before, you know, they go missing. So Paddy told his boss that he wouldn't be coming in the next day, but he would be popping over to grab his lawnmower. Then he left. Well, he went to leave, so he goes to jump on his red quad bike with Kellie. And the mother of the little girl, she actually said to him, hey, we're not going to eat all this chicken. Do you want it? You can give it to Kellie. And he's like, okay, thank you so much. Like, I'll take the chicken. And that's when he headed off. Never to be seen again. So Kellie's on the back of his quad bike, and they head off. They're going home with the chicken. And later that night, at about 10:30, Larrimah apparently had really heavy rain, but the weather had cleared it up by the next morning. So Paddy, he was not seen on December the 17th or December the 18th. Concerned for him, on the morning of December 18th, the hotel owner, Mr. Sharp, he went to check on Paddy at his house. See, everyone in this town, they know what each other are doing. They will notice. I bet my neighbours don't even notice if I'm here or not. It's like, nobody really cares about anyone around here. Anyway, that's sad. I need to move to a small town. I want people to care. Anyway, when his mate found that the back door was unlocked, he went inside and he noticed that everything was tidy. But Paddy and Kellie, they were nowhere to be found. So he's like looking around. He's like, Paddy, where are you, man? And Paddy's just like, not there. Not at all. So this case, it made headlines in Australian media and continues to capture the attention of both the press and the public all of these years later. And I just caught myself saying Australia. I'm sorry, I know I say it like my dad, who's Australian. It's not my fault. Paddy, I'm a bad excuse for a Kiwi, I know. So yeah, anyway, an inquest was held and witnesses at this inquest into the disappearance of Paddy and Kellie have said that he was a cheerful man, but he was involved in a serious dispute with the owner of a local pie shop. Yeah, so apparently they've been threatening each other. They were just being a bit stupid, like threatening each other. So almost everyone in this town has been asked to give evidence at the investigation into the disappearance of Paddy. He was 70 when he went missing. And many people talked about the divisions in the town, like long-standing arguments and threats of violence. It was all chucked around. I feel like maybe they were drinking too much. You know how people get a little bit aggressive when they drink too much? Some people? Yeah. Anyway, Paddy was last seen on December the 16th, 2017 at the Larrimah Hotel, which is also known as the Pink Panther Pub. He and Kellie used to be at this place, like, all the time. And that night, he came back home on his quad bike, like I said, and he warmed up some of that chicken, so that barbecue chicken. I don't know if he was going to eat it for himself or give it to Kellie, but I'm going to assume he was going to eat it himself because he's warming it up. Like, usually I don't bother to heat anything up if it's just for my cat, but yeah, I'm going to assume he was having it for himself. So after that, both Paddy and Kellie, they just completely vanished. Gone. No one knows where they are or where they went. Just, how do you just disappear off the face of the earth? Well, you can, especially in the outback. If you guys know anything about the Australian outback, it could be very deadly. People have a lot of ideas about what could have happened. Some people thought he might have fallen into a hole in the ground, had a health problem, remember he's got that issue with his heart while he was out walking, or even met with foul play in this, town that only has, 12 or 13 people. Because remember, he has that health issue with his heart, but then also people saying he would never have left his hat behind in the dog's leash. So during the investigation into his mysterious disappearance in the Northern Territory of Australia, there were some unusual theories that did pop up. So one person said they heard a shop owner, this is Fran, offering money to someone to make Paddy disappear. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. Like, I've been listening and watching, these people, and they all sound like very interesting people, but I don't know if Fran would do that. Anyway, Fran denies it. She's like, no, I would never do that. I don't like Paddy, but I didn't do that. Paddy had issues with a few people in Larrimah, but especially Fran. So when he did go missing, everyone's like, yeah, it has to be Fran. But I don't know, Fran has major health issues, seriously. This woman is not well. So Fran, she was a bit of a local legend in Larrimah because of her amazing pies, which would bring in tons of tourists eager to try her delicious creations. There was actually a rumour going around that Fran killed Paddy and put him into the pies. Yeah, so apparently she killed him, chopped him up, and put him in the pies. And that kind of stopped people from going to her tea house for the pies because, you know, like gossip. Also, some people in the area are being harassed while the case is still unresolved. So Fran Hodgett's grandson mentioned that his grandma has faced vandalism, verbal abuse, and threatening phone calls since returning to Larrimah after she received cancer treatment. That's right, this woman is not well. And people are harassing her. They're giving her death threats. Like, come on. Fran's grandson said that the mistreatment, mostly from people that were visiting rather than the locals, was impacting his grandma's well-being. She was feeling very isolated. She's very depressed. She's emotionally unwell. She's physically unwell. She's scared. People just, who the hell does this to an older woman? Come on, leave her alone. So in this town, there's a lot of uncertainty. People don't know where Paddy is. That doesn't mean you go and attack Fran. You don't know if she did it, so back up. People are speculating about what had happened, and they're just kind of guessing that it was Fran and taking it into their own hands. It's very Australian of you. My goodness. I'm allowed to say that. My dad's Australian. And I'm a citizen. Thank you. My brother's Australian. Okay, everyone in my family is Australian or British. I'm the only Kiwi. It's not fair. Anyway, there's a lot of uncertainty in this town. So much uncertainty. Some other ideas about what may have happened to Paddy suggest that he could have been eaten by the pet crocodile that was the owner of the local pubs. So somebody had a pet crocodile. That's kind of my theory. I thought maybe, you know, it was the crocodile that got him. But then Kellie as well, I guess. They can move pretty fast. So one person from this town said that he suspected that his friend may have been involved in Paddy's disappearance. Another person who claimed to be a psychic said that there were two guys, one called Richard and one called Rudog. That's right, Rudog. And they said that they shot and buried Paddy. Yeah. However, the police checked this out and they found out that both these men were actually working in Western Australia when Paddy went missing. So it's not possible. Yeah. Also, the doco focuses on the most probable theory that Paddy was killed by Fran. They really zeroed in on Fran in this one, honestly. And they also made it pretty known about Owen Laurie. I actually think it probably was Owen Laurie, but yeah. So at one point, the cops, they kind of snuck a listening device into Fran Hodgett's gardener's house. This is Owen. And they played a fuzzy recording in court of him talking and singing to himself after Paddy had gone missing. So I'm going to read what he's saying. Oh my god. This is what Owen, he was singing, in the shower or whatever, or in the bathroom, I don't know. I killerated old Paddy, struck at him on the head and killerated him, basterated him. In another recording, police claim that he said, I smacked him on the effing nostrils with a claw hammer. Not looking good for Owen. Who sings that? So Owen Laurie, he maintains that he was not involved in Paddy's disappearance, but dude, come on. When you're singing this kind of shit, it does not look good for you. It looks like you did it. Yeah. So, he wouldn't talk to police and stuff, and he, chose to exercise his rights to remain silent. Paddy was last seen leaving the famous Pink Panther themed hotel in Larrimah, accompanied by his little dog. I've told you guys this. This was December 16th, 2017, and despite extensive searches conducted on land and from the air, there has been no sign of Paddy or his canine companion ever since. Paddy, who lived across the road from Fran's tea house, is thought to have died under suspicious circumstances. They don't think that he died from any natural causes, obviously, because, if he did, then he would be somewhere, right? They would be able to find him if it was just natural, and his dog would be somewhere. So the coroner suspects that his ongoing feud with his neighbours may be, the reason why he's no longer with us. Paddy initially got along with his neighbours when he bought the top of the town's service station in 2010, but their relationship kind of deteriorated over time and got really, really bad. Their arguments just got worse and worse and worse over the years. They were really cruel to each other. Like, Paddy should have had some, a bit more respect because he's talking to a woman. I'm old school, gotta treat women right. But yeah, she could have been nicer to him as well. She accused him of stealing her $200 red umbrella, scaring away her customers, and bringing dead kangaroos onto her property. So in Australia, people run over kangaroos and stuff on the back roads, and he would grab these like roadkill kangaroos and throw it onto her yard. It's pretty freaking gross, but yeah, he did that. But anyway, they tried to fix their issues, and they sat down and they signed a piece of paper that said that they would forget about the past and only talk to each other when they absolutely had to. But otherwise, be polite. If you see each other, like, wave hello. And they wrote this down. They're like, yeah, we're going to be nice to each other. But yeah, not too long later, they started arguing again. Fran said that Paddy killed her plants on purpose. A few people in town mentioned that Paddy sometimes had a quick temper and could act very rude and obnoxious when he was drinking. Yeah, I had that issue too. That's why I don't drink. So a few days before he disappeared, it was mentioned that he and Owen Laurie, this was that guy who made that song, got into a really big argument after Paddy's dog kind of wandered towards Owen's house across the road. So Owen said that their voices were not raised or aggressive during the argument. I don't believe that at all. I've seen what these guys are like. I feel like it would have been pretty freaking full on. The barman at the hotel mentioned that Paddy had told him that it was pretty freaking intense. So Paddy went to the bar and was like, yeah man, I had this argument with Owen and blah 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 blah. Apparently Owen said, you need to shut that effing dog up or I'll shut it up for you. Don't threaten dogs, come on man. Anyway, apparently Paddy told Owen to shut his mouth or I'll take your knees out from under you. So Australian. So without a doubt, Larrimah has gained widespread attention. Just when you thought the Australian outback was uneventful, this small town in the middle of nowhere becomes the centre of an incredibly strange mystery, shaking up a community that seems to live a peaceful and somewhat uncomplicated life. They kind of just, picked on each other. So an extensive search by the police covered the entire town, including the local rubbish tip and the nearby dam. But unfortunately, they have never found a trace of Paddy. Like, nothing at all. Like, I could go into things, but nothing. There's nothing. It was puzzling because his car, quad bike, and reading glasses were all left behind. His food was in the microwave. His dog's dinner was, prepared. Also, Paddy was known for always wearing his hat. Like I said, this was his thing. He had like a bald spot that he didn't like, and he would always wear the hat. His friend Mark, a resident of Larrimah, emphasised that Paddy was a creature of habit and that he always wore his hat. The only time that hat would come off was before he was going to go to sleep. There you go. He wouldn't leave home without his hat. Something has happened. Someone has gone into his house or something, or his dog's taken off across the road. Laurie, that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, Paddy was very set in his daily routine, and when he didn't show up at the pub that day, his mates were very worried. He did have a couple of mates. Like, half the town liked him, half the town didn't like him. So he still had a couple of mates. In 2021, the police offered a reward of 250,000 Australian dollars, which is about 271,000 New Zealand, for any information that could help find Paddy's body and lead to the arrest of the person or persons responsible. They are very, very sure that he is dead. As for Larrimah, many of the people who were featured in the documentary have passed away or moved on, or they're planning to leave. I think there's like 1 or 2 people left. I'm not sure. I'll double check. I'll put up the information. This could mean that Larrimah's population is about to decrease even further. Yeah. So as the police investigation is still ongoing, it's crucial to acknowledge the potential for additional information to emerge, potentially reshaping the entire story. But I have done so much reading on this case, and I don't feel like the police are doing enough. I'm sorry, Australian police, but it does not seem like you're doing enough. This case has captured the public's interest because of the unusual happenings in this small town. There is a strong suspicion that one of the residents is responsible for killing Paddy and his dog. I have my theory, and I'm sure everyone's got the same theory as me. Owen. Is he real smart enough to get away with this? I don't think so. The police believe that something bad has happened to Paddy, and they are pretty certain that he was killed. But, they don't have enough evidence. You kind of need a body a lot of the time. Yeah. Senior Sergeant Allen mentions that the police are looking into certain individuals, Owen, but he couldn't give more details because, police in Australia and New Zealand, they like to keep it really quiet. It's annoying, but yeah, they're looking at Owen. Police have also released an image of Paddy on the day that he went missing, showing him wearing a white singlet, dark shorts, brown thongs, and a dark cap. So anyone with information can call the Northern Territory Police on 131 444 or Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 444. I think that I may have to start a fundraiser for Crime Stoppers Australia. So what do you guys think happened? Do you think that Paddy was killed? Or do you think he just left? I don't think he left, because he wouldn't have left all his stuff. I reckon that crocodile got him, maybe. Or Owen, did something and then fed him to the crocodile. My feelings are that something sinister has happened to him and his poor dog. So if somebody, hurt Paddy, his dog would have, rushed to his defense. So I'm thinking, something like that. I'll make another video if there's any more information that comes to light, but at this stage it does not seem like the police are doing their bloody job. I know I should not say that, but I am. Seriously, Australian police, get onto it. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. I am leaving it there. And please don't forget to hit the like button, turn on the notifications button, and subscribe to my channel for more of my videos. Also, if you are listening via my podcast and would like to see the video, you can find me on YouTube. My name on YouTube is Kat Sharon True Crime. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me. It means the absolute world to me. Please do subscribe to my channel because, yeah, I kind of need you guys. Also, remember that I have collaborated with Broken Society. Do check out their website, www.broken-society.com, and claim that discount. Just enter Kate Sharon _True Crime at checkout. Get that discount. Go shopping. It's nearly Christmas, guys. Seriously, it's nearly Christmas. How freaking scary is that? Oh my god. No. I've got too many children. Oh. I have started Christmas shopping, actually. I know, I'm that crazy lady. I found... no, I'm scared of that. I found my nutcrackers. They're in the cupboard over there. I was going through it looking for my hair. Anyway, my hair thing. Anyway, so they're in the cupboard over there, and behind me there's a cupboard. It's where I keep my ex-husbands. Just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm not kidding. Yeah, I am kidding. Am I kidding? No. I'm an idiot. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my nutcrackers. Yeah, I found my nutcrackers. They went missing 2 years ago, and they finally emerged. Yay! And I was showing my son, and you push the little thing on the back of their heads, and their mouths go. Rah, rah. And my son was freaking out because he's only 3. And yeah, I found my nutcrackers. I'm happy. Anyway, I'm out. Have a wonderful day, guys. Please remember to like, subscribe, and if you want to help me towards getting a camera and a new microphone, because this is on its way out, as you can hear by the audio, feel free to click the super thanks. Be great. Anyway, I'm out. Bye. Broken Society. Oh.